ahead. And I say to you young people out there, I got good news and bad news for you as well. The good news is God loves you very much. And the bad news is the world owes you absolutely nothing. And so dear teenagers and college age students out there, grow up. And don't feel you're entitled to anything. Learn that you have an obligation to this world. Dear young people, don't listen to those voices that are telling you can't feel, can't care, can't have compassion. They're the same voices that have caused countless wars and ecological disasters and broken homes and teenage suicides in places like Haiti today. Dear young people, don't listen to that marketing technique out there that says that you have to be popular. Any young person who seeks popularity in our culture is a fool. Anyone who wants to achieve anything in this world will never be popular. And so, dear young people, don't listen to that. At the end of your life, if you don't have two dimes to rub against each other, who cares? If you can say you've done something for others, if someday you can put your arms around your own little bit of heaven someday, you'll be very happy and very successful. And I say to all of you out there, my fellow senior citizens, I have good news and bad news for us as well. The good news is God loves us very much. The bad news is God doesn't want to hear about our aches and pains. And if God doesn't want to hear about our aches and pains, do you really think anyone else does? So make a resolution today. You're going to stop all that stuff about how horrible you feel and how the world is so much better. Don't stop all that. How many of you out there right now will tell me your age? I'm impressed. I'm 32 years old myself. The reason I'm lying is because the same culture says when I reach a certain age, I no longer have value. We're the only culture in the world that's ashamed of age. The only culture in the world that distances themselves from the aged. The only culture in the world, by the way, who spends a fortune trying to look young. Now this is tough for me to say, but as I look at you right now, it's not working. We're all getting old, so who cares? Who cares? You know, we got a responsibility for today. And I say to all of you, love being a Roman Catholic. Wow, what a gift. And you're looking at someone that's more hang-ups about this church than anybody. But I love it dearly. I couldn't survive anymore without the Eucharist and the Rosary every day. But we Catholics don't understand what it means to be a Catholic. Being a Catholic is something all over devotions and our rituals and whatever else. You know what makes us a Catholic? At that moment and only that moment, we can look into a difficult face and want to see the face of Jesus. Want to forgive that person and love that person and build a little bit of heaven for him or her. We'll be a Catholic when the sight of the sunset means more to us than our material possessions. When the sounds of children impress us more than the voices of the powerful political people of the world. We'll be a Catholic when we can dance and sing for the right reasons and weep, not from having lost something, but the realization God has given us so much. You know what makes me proud of me are the men and women of the New York Fire and Police Department. They knelt down in front of Capuchin Father Judge. They knew they would not come out alive from those towers. There are modern-day saints. Pope John Paul II was shot 3 times in the early 80s. He leaves a hospital in terrible pain. Where's he go? The prison to forgive the person who shot him. These are the images that define us. And let me give you my own personal testimony. In the last 12 years, I know what it's like to see people suffer for their faith. And I know Father does, Father Adrian, of how it was in the Ukraine. People really suffer for their faith. I know it's like to see the goons outside with their automatic weapons, daring people to come into church. I know it's like to see them come down the aisle with sunglasses on, shooting up the walls of the church. I know it's like to stand at this altar and have a gun held in my head, watch the woman shot to death in the epistle. Only 3 weeks ago, gunfire heard way out in the back. They're trying to kill the very person I depend on the most. Well, thank God these things don't happen here in the United States. But let me tell you something, fellow missionaries. If you live out that mission to build a little bit of heaven, that culture out there will mock you, ridicule you, and consider you unsophisticated. This is what the Lord wants of you. And finally, I say, love this wonderful country, the United States. And my prayer for each and every one of you is this, that at the moment of your death, at the moment of my death, and by the way, it will not be a morbid moment. It's going to be the most exhilarating moment in our life. When suddenly we look up and see the face of Jesus. He's going to be smiling. Next to him are going to be all our relatives and friends and all the saints. And then, wow, we're going to be surprised to see a lot of people there we never thought would be there. And Jesus is going to give you and me a big hug. Guess what? He's not going to ask you and me how well we did in the stock market. He couldn't care less. He doesn't even care about all the things we think are important. You know, he's going to ask you and me, did you build a little bit of heaven? And did you recognize my face? I hope you and I will be able to say, yes, Lord, I did. So a few hours from now, I get back to Haiti. And I want to be honest with you, I can't stand the place. Sometimes I'm lonely and sometimes I'm afraid. But what keeps me going back is the realization there are wonderful people like you here. You get a great man in Charlotte, your pastor. David is a great priest. And I believe that each and every one of you can carry out your mission in solidarity. We'll be able to build a better world. God bless you. God bless you.